Hello from Philville in the wintertime. Seems like the weather is circling back to being more wintry after 20 years or so of being more mild. When I was a kid, winters were like this all the time. I'm in my 50s, and now it's back to snowing and cold again. There for a long time, they were talking all this warming stuff. Climate was warming, and the world just goes in cycles. So a lot of people see a bunch of junk wood. I got this off a job site. Guy said I could have it, and I see a whole bunch of materials. You can see there's a bottom board made out of 2x4s and 2x6s, and that's what I'm gonna turn this into, that or lids maybe. You can even take particle board like that and make the side walls of honey supers. They're only outside for 2 months typically, so they don't have to last all that long. We had 7 inches of snow, I don't know, 8 or 10 days ago. And now I'm going to take you on a walk to check out the chickens. I thought it'd make a neat video for you. I like free resources. So here's garbage bags full of wood shavings. I'm a homesteader and kind of a homesteader. I love my electric furnace. I am going to buy a wood burner, but what you do is you put this around the base of your rose bushes and trees, and it'll keep the moisture in, keep you from having to water. Right now it is 9 degrees in Philville. It is cold, so I want to give some people, if you're just not getting into chickens, I give you some advice on chickens. First thing is to have the chicken coop close to your home. Do not have it too far away, because then when it's weather like this, you got to walk. It's also good to keep it where you can look at it from your house windows. Just a neat little look around Philville. See the black car, it is a no-go in the weather. It has to be clean roads or it don't go. It's an awesome car. It's a Chrysler 300, 5.7 liter Hemi. It can scoot. There's a little peek at my house. Look at them windows. See, I get to look out those all the time. Those are awesome. Here in the front, I have, this is the garden that I have that is not organic, because I didn't know how to get enough nitrogen to feed sweet corn. So I went ahead, and this little part of the Philville, I use pellet fertilizer. It goes down to my pond. You see, I do not have any neighbors I have one neighbor within a quarter mile, but we're still only 8 minutes away from town. Ain't that cool? I'm really blessed. God has really blessed me. You see that thing right there? That is a chicken tractor. Off in the distance, you can see a chicken or a beehive. All right, so you see that black thing there? That used to be a deer feeder. The daggone squirrels chewed a hole and chewed the lid up, so I made it into a water collection. And what happens is water comes off the roof, goes into that, goes out of that, and the back of that goes into PVC. I have one tube, you can see it just hanging there. That tube there goes into the chicken coop, and then it goes around to another holding tank that gives us another 50 gallons of holding, really about 30, and then it goes into a pipe. We have an on-off valve there, and we have an overflow valve there. Should have took that overflow valve out and let it flow out. Mary done that and forgot to do that. Oopsie. Oh, almost fell there. I've been getting hurt a lot lately, man. I don't want to do that anymore. Too old for that crap. I have, here's the yard. Has a little plank that comes down. They have no trouble at all with that. There's some pumpkins we put out here. And then I used recycled fencing all throughout the thing. Chain link's good. And then over here, I put a wall. Over here, what I do, I grow clover. And the weeds get in there too. But I grow clover, has water in there. And then once a week, I let the chickens in there. It has a recycled screen door on there. And then what I'll do this year, I'm going to go ahead and raise turkeys also. We raise them every other year. We'll raise a dozen of those for the holidays. And then when the turkeys, you can start them off together, but when they get to be like adolescent, you got to separate them, because the turkeys will absolutely hammer the chickens and kill them all. It was crazy. We had raised them together the first year, and all of a sudden the turkeys made their mind up today was the day, and they attacked all those chickens and had them all down, was pecking them in the head. Here's my chicken coop. As you see, I have a water there. Underneath that water is a warming plate. That warming plate keeps the water from freezing. You got to make sure you have a metal water. There's a fly catcher there. We made this little square over here to be able to put chicks in, but that wall needs to be changed. I need to take that wall off there, and this front wall I need to put in there a fence. It don't work real good. I have a light there for heat. Over here you'll see I have electric out here. We do not have electric to this building, so I had to run a cord. And we have electric in there. And then we have a heat lamp in here. The most will step in there and keeps the heat in pretty good for them. I wish I could close it off some. I just haven't put in the effort. Over here we have the fencing where they can roost. And over here you can see there's a mountain of poop. I'll take that and make fertilizer out of that. What the heck it is on top? That's weird, ain't it? Whatever that thing is on top there. I don't know what that is. Crazy looking. Underneath here, I made these laying boxes. I made the laying boxes. Sorry about that, but they did not use them. So I eventually covered them up. They do like to go in the bottom in that laying box. I already robbed the eggs. Got 5 eggs today. In the winter, it's good to give them a break. We give them about a month. And then what we do is we put a timer on and leave the lights on until 9. That makes them start laying again. You see the orange one right there? They call that orangey. That one is a New Hampshire. They're very friendly, nice turkeys. They'll let you pet them. That turkey runs over and sits on my wife's feet. She's really friendly. We had 2 of them. One of them overheated and died, I think. Got Blackie the rooster. And then those other ones are Rhode Island Reds. Those are supposed to be the higher production turkeys that we had access to. We bought these off an Amish guy that raises them for a hatchery. And then after they're a year old, he goes ahead and he sells them. So we were able to buy them for $5 or $6 each. And you get chickens that are already ready to lay. And what I've learned is chickens, as they get older, the eggs get bigger, which is really cool. There's a little door. I closed it mostly so that they'll stay in. Chickens are dumb. You got to watch them. They'll go kill themselves. I got windows over here. And I had a hard time with that one staying up. I taped it, which seemed to help. And I got a vent up top. When you put lights in there, if you're trying to keep them warm, use incandescent light bulbs. That will allow, it makes heat. And then you need to have a vent. It'd probably be better if I covered that like 3/4 of the way. It just hasn't made it keep more of the heat in here. And over here we have an old box fan. In the summer we turn it on to let the air blow. And then I have plastic over the window, and then the bottom part I'll put clear plastic. That way you get more light in here. And there's the other part of our water. You put those little cups on, and then you got to make sure that thing's level, and then they'll peck at that yellow thing, and they'll get trained, and then water comes in. So this is how we've lined out our chickens. They'll give us in the summer, 3 or 4 dozen a week. There's something else too. You see, I got a bunch of weeds right here. Chickens get bored. It gives them something to do. They'll also like to peck at all those little seeds that are on there. So it's a good thing to bring it in here, stomp it down. They'll eat all the seeds off of it, and it gives them something to do. See, there's old Goldie. She's pecking away, getting some seeds off there. And here's our feed. You want to give them the amount of food they'll eat in a day, because you'll get mice in your coop. These chickens don't care about mice. They ignore them. And some chickens run after mice and try to get them. And what you want it to be where when they roost, there's no more feed left. We were feeding them 4 4 cups a day, and now they're not eating it, so we're taking them down to 3. It's kind of a game of how much feed. This right here, we also have a fence. Forgot this. We got a fence up here, and then what we do is we put these boards here like runners, and we slide them in these slots here. When we have little chickens, we put it all the way up that way the big chickens can't get to them. Big chickens will eat little chickens. They're mean. Chickens are mean. Kind of like most pigs are mean. A lot of animals are mean to smaller ones, and I just have a little piece of wire holding it up there. That heat lamp was originally for our little chickens. In the spring, I take all of this wood chips out and I put it around my trees and bushes. I've grown 60 fruit trees, but they have not done well down here. I don't know if it's too low or what the deal is, but they haven't given me hardly no apples, which is apples or peaches or pears. But what I have grown really good is I have grown berries really, really good. Blackberries, strawberries, raspberries. They've done really, really well. So I have learned give love to what feeds you back or gives you love back. So there's my archery targets for shooting bows. I'm gonna go here in a little bit and I'm gonna cut all these daggone locust trees down. I hate these things, man. They're mean. If you get stuck by one of them, it'll get you infected right away. They're just mean. Ain't it weird the way honey locust has these big spikes, but it doesn't give you any nectar, at least where we live at. And then the black locust is what we make the honey off of. It makes all these real pretty little white flowers. Hearing go off. I hate that rooster. That rooster crows at 4 in the morning. I like to sleep out here on the deck in the summer. That sucker wakes up, it ain't even peaking daylight. I mean, it's pitch dark, and that sucker crows, and I can't stand that rooster. I'm about to trade him off and get me one that likes to sleep a little later, at least till sun comes up. Well, hope you've enjoyed. I hope you have enjoyed the trek around Philville. This is Philville in winter. It is beginning of February. If you look at your house, if it has a nice cap of snow on it with no melted spots, it means your insulation's good. If you look at your top of your house and you got melted snow when it's cold, below freezing, you know your insulation isn't good enough. Another look at my porch. I love this deck. Spend a lot of time out there. I hope you've enjoyed it. I've only been doing YouTube this year. I'm up to 90 subscribers. If you would please subscribe, help me get to 100, and like it and comment. All that stuff helps me to get it going. I hope you enjoy my stuff. It's Phil Montgomery from Philville. Be blessed.